Well, this is it guys. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was pretty disappointing, and I seriously question how it ended up this way. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that I dislike the game really. I think the game is still pretty good, but good god, the story to this game is just not good. A lot of people have kinda given up on Insomniac games after this one. Now, I'm a bit biased when it comes to Insomniac games, because I grew up with their games ever since the PS2, with Ratchet & Clank being my favorite video game series of all time. And this isn't like the first time Insomniac has made a bad game / games I was disappointed by. And to me this isn't like the Naughty Dog situation where they intentionally try to screw everyone over with The Last of Us Part 2. Now, do I think Spider-Man 2 is better than The Last of Us Part 2? Yes, I think Spider-Man 2 is a far better game than The Last of Us Part 2. And you know, at least Spider-Man 2 has some pretty good moments in it by comparison to The Last of Us 2, where everything is just there to blatantly manipulate you. And from what I saw, it's not even the worst story from a Spider-Man game.
You're saying the lives of a
You want me to slice you up in a—
Ever since Spider-Man 2's release, I felt pretty bad for Insomniac. I mean, it was pretty clear that this game was rushed in some way, seeing by how bugged the game was on release, but also the fact that so many things just went wrong here. They accidentally left the debug menu in one of their updates, which they quickly removed. There was a massive leak that happened that leaked a lot of their information and builds of their upcoming Wolverine game, but also the fact that it revealed that the game had a budget of 300 million, which is just kinda insane to me, because they are literally reusing most of the map and animations from the previous game. So how can the budget be this big? There's clearly something that went wrong behind the scenes, and we don't know what exactly. But I'm not here to talk about all of this. I'm mainly here to talk about the poorly written story. Now, I did replay the previous games in preparation for this video. When it comes to the story, I think 1, while flawed in some aspects, is still a pretty enjoyable story, and the world it creates was pretty interesting, and it really made me wonder where it would go next. After this, I played the DLCs, which I thought were awful. Miles Morales is probably my favorite of the 3. Spider-Man 2 kind of ruined this whole universe and the characters, and I'm not really excited for Spider-Man 3 anymore. Before we begin, I want to give a huge thanks to Honeycomb for helping me out making a lot of the points in this video. This wouldn't have been possible without her help. So yeah, let's get into it. The game starts off with a flashback where we see Norman getting Harry ready for his treatment. The scene is kinda pointless. I mean, I didn't exactly understand what they were trying to say here exactly. I think it's meant to showcase how traumatizing the experience was for Harry, but the game doesn't expand upon it, so it's kinda just there. We then cut to the present day with Miles being in school, not sure what to write for his college application, with Peter arriving late for his first day at his job as a teacher. Now, here is the issue with this. So, Peter decides to take a job as a school teacher. Why would he do that? Now, here is the thing. I don't necessarily hate the idea of Peter being a school teacher, but the issue is he's Spider-Man. If there's an emergency, then he has to leave, which is impossible for him to be a school teacher who is supposed to supervise the kids and at the same time being Spider-Man, because they have a strict schedule. Yes, Miles exists, but Peter has to take into consideration about the fact that if there's an emergency, then he has to leave, which is what literally happens in the scene because Sandman is attacking the city. I mean, the first thing that happens is that Peter is late.
I'm here!
And obviously, what do you think he's late from? What worked in the first game was that he was working with Octavius. He didn't have a strict schedule like schools normally do, and the only reason he was late was because of critical moments in the arm's development, and he lost the job because of Norman intervening. There are so many different job opportunities Peter could have taken. Heck, I mean, online tutoring is a thing. He could have done that. This especially bothers me because he has been Spider-Man for 10 years. He should have plans by now. Heck, I mean, why didn't he take a job at Oscorp? Not only would Norman hire him in a heartbeat, but also since Norman is hiding dirt and doing weird experiments, that could have also benefited Peter not only earning money, but also going after Norman and look for Harry, since they know that he's there. Plus he'd want to work to save Harry, his dying friend.
Miles, I need this job. If the principal comes back and sees I'm gone, I'm gonna get fired.
Oh, so you know that if you leave you're gonna get fired? Dude, what if the Sinister Six came back attacking the city or something? You think Miles can handle this on his own? So now we swing over to Sandman.
What's the plan?
Keep him busy! I got an idea!
Oh crap.
So your idea is to go and punch him? Have you seen the size of him? Reminder, he has been Spider-Man for 10 years and he fought Sandman before. You'd think that he would know that a punch wouldn't work, especially by this size. Also, where is Miles? He called us like a second ago asking Peter what the plan was and told him to keep him busy.
Still angry after all these years, Marco? You should try yoga. That was your idea?
Never said it was a good one.
Wait, so you saw this all play out? Sandman was literally trying to crush Peter and you were just off doing whatever? You'll probably make the argument that Miles was saving civilians or something, but Peter literally told him to keep Sandman busy.
Keep him busy. I got an idea.
You literally see Miles swinging around and stuff out there.
I got him.
Peter, you can literally avoid things before they happen. We have seen that his spider sense goes off when someone is about to attack him multiple times throughout the series. He literally stood there for like a second and let the hand hit him, despite the fact that he dodged it previously like twice already. I guess his spidey sense went on vacation.
Mr. Parker?
I'm sorry, who's this?
Principal Evans.
Of course, Principal
All
Evans.
students have evacuated their classrooms. Where are you?
Peter, why are you taking this call? It's a bit silly for him to do that, cause that would risk his identity, especially with all this destruction going on in the background. But also, it's distracting you while fighting a giant sand monster. Now, you'd probably make the argument that he took the call with Aunt May in the first game at the beginning of the game. But that one works because it's Aunt May he's talking to. If there's an emergency, then he should be taking the call. Not just that, but Peter wasn't fighting a giant sand monster. Here he took a call from an unknown caller, it seems like. So why are you taking the call? Yes, it's the school principal, but why would you even bother? You knew from the beginning that you're getting fired.
I'm so getting fired.
Mr. Parker!
I just forgot something in my car.
What was that?
Nothing. I'm just. It worked. I mean, I'm just running back right now.
Get back here and supervise your students, or else.
And this is where we get introduced to the spider legs. Now, here is the issue with those legs. Remember how in the first game, the entire point of working at Otto was to work on those prosthetic arms. It was a very difficult process that took a very long time to make. Even when Otto succeeded in making them, he lost control due to the neural interface not working properly. It was clear that these arms still needed some work. That was the entire point of the previous game. And now here, Peter has very similar working spider legs that work without any problem and are better than the octopus arms. It's really lame for the game to do that because the whole point of these arms were for prosthetic. And here, Peter could just easily make spider legs all for himself and they work without any problems. Now, I know that the spider legs were in the previous game, but the thing was those weren't canon to the story. Here, the spider legs are canon to the story. Wow. I mean, what if instead of having him just start off with the legs at the beginning of the game, what if Peter worked at Oscorp and Peter is trying to continue from where Otto left off because of his investment in helping people? Wouldn't that have been something? Or maybe just don't have those legs in this game at all. Also, you're telling me that guy who is supposed to be really strong gets overtaken by a bunch of smaller sand people? So Peter is about to die and then Miles comes in to rescue him. Where exactly was he? Did he not bother doing anything when Sandman grabbed his mentor? What if he died right there, especially with how stupid Peter's plan was?
He's not listening. We gotta turn it up a notch.
Ow!
He hates water. His shoulder's already wet.
Bet he's not a big fan of electricity then either.
Read my mind.
Okay. Quick question. Why didn't you discuss a plan before going into the fight? The fact that you only think of this now and not when you swung to the battle is really stupid. Peter literally tried punching him a few minutes ago.
Hey, sorry. What'd I miss? He's trying to eat me.
Miles, you can literally stick on surfaces. What are you doing? Peter, why are you trying to punch Sandman again? Twice. It didn't work last time. Also, Peter gets hit by a random lightning strike when you should know from the last game that Peter is faster than lightning.
Any ideas?
Yeah. Class is back in session. Orko's storm is generating a lot of electricity. What happens to the surface tension of sand if you turn up the voltage! Move, you're right. Like when I shot the minis. A+.
You guys only now figured this out? And Peter gets hit again by lightning?
We good? We're good.
Now, here are the problems with this. First off, the fact that Spider-Man can just shoot a lightning beam against his enemies kinda ruins the appeal of Spider-Man. Now, I know there has been a debate about Spider-Man using tech, but I mean, that's not really an issue. Peter is shown to be a very smart guy, so him inventing new tech to help in battles isn't a bad thing. Well, you know, as long as they're all smaller scaled and are spider-based gadgets. Him shooting a laser isn't really a spider thing to do, but the other issue is they used this ability once and then never again throughout the story. Probably could have helped against Venom, but no. They used this ability once and the rest of the game just completely forgets about this ability. Which leaves the question, why would you introduce such a thing if you're just gonna forget about it? It's a powerful laser that sliced Sandman in half. After this we get introduced to Kraven, whose character design is like amazing and I love how intimidating he is. After this it's just kinda whatevers. It's Spider-Man helping people out, not really anything to say here. So Peter gets fired and he swings back to his home.
What's wrong?
I got fired.
You were so excited about this job.
I know. I had the whole semester planned out. Next week, we were gonna make a potato-powered helicopter.
I might be joining you in the unemployment line.
Jonah already cleaning house?
Sort of. He's instituting a radical meritocracy.
Yikes, what does that even mean?
It means that whoever doesn't write a front page story in the next week is fired.
What? Why would Jameson start randomly cleaning house? Especially Mary Jane? Why would he ever consider firing one of the best reporters? You know, the one who reported on the Devil's Breath case and helps countless people around the city. Look, I get Jameson is hard to work with, but it's not like he doesn't care about his people. Is that all we're getting with Jameson? Just angry man who cleans house?
What you got in there?
Unsold Symbiote books. Running out of storage at my place.
But you got great reviews.
I sold 14 copies. Nobody wanted to read about Symbiote.
I'm sorry, I don't buy that no one was interested in buying a book from Mary Jane Watson about Symkaria. You're telling me no one is interested about the current events that were going on there, especially when Sable came to New York with her private military force and pretty much took it over? Would people not want to learn more? No one is interested in reading about that? People read books about old wars that happened around the world all the time, and you're telling me no one cared about Sable and the current war that is going on there?
The Bugle is the biggest outlet in the city. I can make a difference there. But if I get fired, I don't know what I'll do.
Work somewhere else? You're a well-known reporter. You could work for another news organization, like the Daily Globe or something. Tell Jonah that if you're gonna fire me, then I'll go work for the Daily Globe.
Hey, so, have you thought any more about moving in?
We talked about this. I need to be in the city, close to where the action is.
Huh, that's odd, because in the last game it seemed like you were planning on moving in together.
We talked about this. I need to be in the city, close to where the action is.
That really doesn't matter, MJ, because you have a bike that can bring you to the city. You could even wake up earlier if necessary, or Peter could just swing her to the city. But you know, she has a bike. So after we talk to MJ, we go upstairs to Peter's old room and we get a flashback about Aunt May and she teaches Peter the lesson of balance. It's a really good scene and it's a good message, but here comes the issue about Peter's arc in this game. So there are two things I could get from this game. One is Peter learning balance and getting over Aunt May's death, / relying on others for help. Both of these arcs do not work in this game. First off, the balance thing. Peter has been Spider-Man for 10 years at this point. You would think that by that point Peter would have a better plan on how to balance his life, which he did back in the first game. Like I said previously, he was working for Octavius in the first game and he didn't have a strict schedule to keep up. And the only reason he was fired was because Norman intervened. Yes, he wasted his money on gadgets instead of paying his rent, but the point here is that he had a better plan in the first game on how to balance his life than he did in this game. I mean, this whole thing is brought up and it was pretty much resolved in the middle of the game.
Gonna miss these chases when I'm an Emily May. The adrenaline, going through the city like it's an obstacle course, never gets old. Getting to do real science though. For actual money! Oh my god, I finally did it! I have a stable career!
So, what exactly is the point? The second one is something Peter doesn't really go through throughout the whole game. I mean, he wants to protect the people he loves, yeah, but the way Peter does things throughout the game doesn't really work. More often than not, he goes out doing things all by himself, even though Miles exists and he can call him for help, which is something I will get to throughout the video. But the reason for him feeling that way, that he desperately wants to protect the people he loves, is so bizarre in this game. Like, the only reason he starts feeling that way is when he puts on the suit. But before that, the way the game handles these things is by nerfing Peter in the most ridiculous ways possible, which I will get into later. Especially when he has Miles on his side, yet he barely feels like he's part of the main story, which is also something I will get more into later. Peter is not alone. He has friends and family he can rely on, which is something he learned in the previous game already. So why does Peter have to learn the same thing again? So Harry is back from his treatment and MJ and Peter are happy to see him again, and they both go for a bike ride to their old high school. Harry mentions that he heard about what happened to Octavius.
Hey, I read about your old boss, Dr. Octavius. That must have been crazy.
That's one way to put it, yeah.
So he should likely know about the whole Devil's Breath thing that has been going on in New York. But the problem is the game never follows up on that. He never questions his dad about what he did, and Peter acts like as if all is forgiven. It's like this game completely forgot about what happened in the first game, which is so bizarre. Peter knows about all the dirty experiments Norman did, yet he never does anything about him in this game, when he likely would take an interest in finding out what other weird things are going on at Oscorp. But no, I guess all is forgiven and forgotten. I do like Peter and Harry's relationship in this whole part of the game. Their interactions are neat and this whole sequence is pretty cool, showing how Peter handled using his spider abilities when he was in high school. But other than that, this whole section doesn't really serve the story in any way. I mean, it's just there to tell us that Harry's mom died, which is by the same disease that Harry has. They could have just had a discussion about it in the present day, but you know, overall this section isn't really bad.
And even I'm bored already. Hey Miles, you busy? I need
Whatever it is, I'm down.
some help with a babysitting mission at the raft.
Sounds fun. Fill me in on the way.
So now we're at the boat section. Scorpion and Mr. Negative are being transported to the boat and they're all getting attacked by hunters. Peter, again, where is your spider sense? You have been dodging bullets and lightning strikes constantly in the last game. How are you getting jumped by a robot bird thing? Now, don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying that Peter can never get attacked by something because he has spider sense. The thing is, it depends on what the attacks are that you throw at him. Obviously, I don't expect Peter to dodge every single attack that's being thrown at him. If you have established that Peter senses an attack before they happen, then you should stick by those rules. If you have established that Peter can react fast to lightning, then you should stick to those rules. Obviously, Peter can be attacked under certain circumstances and get hit, yes, but this is literally one bird thing that attacks him. He should be able to react to it just like how he should have been able to react to Sandman's attack earlier. So the hunters shoot these harpoons at the ship and Peter and Miles apparently struggle to pull them out. Now you have to remember that Peter and Miles are very strong. Remember in the first game how Peter was able to slow down a crane from falling? Remember how he pulled up this truck from getting run over by a train? Remember how he pulled up all this debris when trying to save these people? And not just that, remember Miles pulling together the collapsing bridge in his own game? These two Spider-Men are really strong. They just nerfed both Peter and Miles in this scene just to give us a reason for them to split up. This is an issue that happens a lot throughout the game, where they deliberately nerf the characters just to get their payoffs. Or instead of pulling those out, why don't you go to those vehicles pulling on them and destroy them? So now Miles is inside the ship and he tries to save the guy inside the cell. But it turns out, oh no, it was Scorpion the whole time and he freed him from his restraints. I'm sorry, but I gotta ask, why did they let him keep his stinger? His tail is not attached to his body or anything, it's just his suit. You'd think that they'd have removed his stinger by this point. And another thing, why did they let him keep his poison? Where did he even get the poison? They should have removed it from him by now. And also, what kind of poison even is this? Well, he stabs Miles with it and he starts getting weird hallucinations hallucinations, which is similar to the one he used against Peter once. But that can't be the same one, because when Peter was injected with this, the hallucinations he had this whole sea of poison that if he fell into he would die. The poison was also slowly killing him, which he needed to create an anti-serum against the poison. Here, Miles doesn't have to make any anti-serum and brushes it off after a few minutes, so it's pretty much the same thing as Mr. Negative at this point. Also, why didn't he just kill Miles? He poisons him and then just leaves? The poison doesn't even kill him. The reason he didn't kill Spider-Man at first in the first game was because Otto told him not to and he respected him.
Me, I'd end it now. But Octavius is paying, and he wants to torture you, which I respect.
But here, he'd 100% would just go for the kill. So why does he let Miles live? So now Miles hallucinates all these weird things about his friends and family. And what it's trying to convey to us is that Miles has a fear of being rejected.
Miles.
It's so peaceful without Miles. Now that you're Spider-Man, I don't have to worry anymore. None of us have to die.
Won't let anything happen to you.
But that's kind of weird for him to think that right now, because I mean, something similar was already resolved in his own game. You know, his friends like him, his mother is fine with him being Spider-Man, so why would Miles now suddenly feel like he might get rejected? I mean, it would make more sense later on in the game, but not now, especially when we just had a scene of Rio wanting Miles to meet her new boyfriend. So Miles confronts Lee in his cell and he's about to drown, but Miles is like getting infected by his power somehow, and then hunters come in and take him away. So Miles goes after them and tries pulling on the container, and then an accident happens and Kraven makes it worse.
What you took from me.
Peter, web up the propeller. Peter, web up the propeller. Peter, web up the propeller. Peter, web up the propeller.
Spider-Man, I need your help!
You cannot be serious. Peter, why don't you just whip up the propeller and destroy it like Miles tried doing earlier? Or just punch it because you're super strong. Also, what are you doing here? Why are you holding on all of those people? Why don't you just whip them up and focus on the propeller? Remember, Peter in the first game was very capable that he could quickly solve things in order to minimize the damage and save the people. They just nerf him just to make him call Miles for help. And then Miles comes in and destroys the propeller, even though Peter could have done the exact same thing.
Who are those guys?
Whoever they are, they're packing some serious tech.
Now they got all that, plus Scorpion and Lee.
Hey, whatever they're planning, we'll find them. We'll stop them.
Pete, when I saw Lee inside that ship, my powers, they...
You think his energy got entangled with yours?
I don't know, man.
Wherever Electric Blue came from, it saved the day back there. Hey, we'll put Lee back where he belongs. Promise. Don't leave me hanging.
Trying to soak over here.
Not on my watch.
Peter, what are you doing? Why don't you confront Miles about what just happened? Because he was about to almost ignore the people around him just to catch Lee. Remember that you are tutoring Miles? He still has stuff to learn and you are his mentor. But no, Peter is just like, oh, don't worry Miles, we'll find them.
Hey Miles, get used to hearing that voicemail of yours. Dropped you a pin. Wanna come through?
Hey, I'm Garen.
What? Too busy to visit your fam?
Nah. I was just giving you space after you got out.
Don't need it. Besides, we gotta settle some things.
We do?
See you soon, kid. We really gotta do this with the mask on?
Yeah, we're in public in broad daylight. No, Miles, why would you do this? So Peter gets invited to the Emily May Foundation, and I actually like this part of the game. I think Peter and Harry's friendship was well done in the first few hours of the game. I mean, I did already go over the whole Norman thing, but other than that, there isn't really much to say here. I think it's a pretty neat setup to the whole heal the world dream that Harry has and wants Peter to be on board. So Peter is now looking for the hunters and infiltrates one of their hideouts and finds a computer with info on some of the villains he's hunting.
Wait, I get bringing Scorpion and Lee on a hunt, but Black Cat's a thief.
Seriously, out of all the people Kraven would want to fight against, one of them is Black Cat? Like, he's clearly trying to find someone he can consider an equal and die like a badass. But like, what the heck is he gonna get out of Black Cat? Like Peter says, Black Cat is a thief. That's all she does. What's Black Cat gonna do against him? Steal his belongings? Like, it's obvious that the only reason this is here is because they wanted to include Black Cat in the story in some way. But not like that. Was there no other way for Black Cat to be in the story? But we'll get to her later. For now, I want to go over the scene of Kraven and Scorpion. So Peter watches a video where Kraven is fighting against Scorpion, and Kraven ends up killing Scorpion. Now, this is something I want to go over. Like, this isn't necessarily a problem with the writing, but I can understand how Kraven killing Scorpion just like that can be quite upsetting for a lot of people. Scorpion is not the only villain he ends up killing. He also kills off Vulture, Shocker, and Electro from what I know. This is like half of the Sinister Six and their popular Spider-Man villains. It's especially annoying because they never brought up Vulture, Shocker, and Electro previously, which also makes it seem like Peter didn't know that they escaped, or if Kraven broke into rafts to kidnap them or anything, which is kinda bizarre because normally Peter always gets a phone call from the police or something, which he was constantly working with in the first game. I mean, Yuri is not the police captain anymore, but like, did they not replace her? Does Peter not talk to that person? The world building in this game is so weak that it either forgets what happened previously, doesn't address things, or just completely forgets to expand on certain things. Heck, I mean, one of the criticisms from the previous game was that the Sinister Six were underdeveloped, so Insomniac's response to that was to just kill them all off screen? Do you not see how messed up that sounds? Like, I'm pretty sure those are a lot of comic book fans' favorite villains, and this is how you treat them? Heck, I mean, Scorpion dies like a scared wimp and gets easily oofed by Kraven. I mean, Scorpion has acid. Like, instead of stabbing him, which we already established does absolutely nothing to you, why didn't you shoot acid in his face? Like, what's Kraven gonna do? He's dead. So now they're going to fight Black Cat, and Peter thinks it's best for Miles to go after her, cause apparently he thinks she's not gonna listen to him, but she's gonna listen to Miles.
Alicia's on their list too.
Black Cat, your ex?
Exactly. She won't listen to me if I say she's in danger. But maybe she'd listen to someone she doesn't know.
Okay, I guess. So Black Cat steals some wand from the Sanctum Sanctorum. You know, I thought the Sanctum was just an Easter egg in the previous game, but no, apparently Doctor Strange is canon in this universe. So does that mean the Avengers are also canon? So she exits through a portal, and Miles just sits there and does nothing while she's trying to open another portal.
Little spider wants to play, huh?
So, I wanna go over Black Cat. I don't really like her in this universe. She was awful in the DLC. The game tried so hard making it seem like she has a good heart with everything Peter is saying about her. But then they don't do anything with it really, just to have her cause a gang war and lie about there being an endangered child to Peter. She's a terrible person who just hurts people for money. She's not an endearing character, she's just an a-hole. Especially in this chase scene. Not only is she opening portals and dropping a bunch of stuff on Miles, but also she teleported him to Antarctica.
Hey, Cat! Can we talk? Will you slow down?
Back off before I portal you into the Pacific Ocean. Steal your own mystical artifact.
Cold! Didn't even bring my scarf!
She just endangered a 17-year-old. What if Black Cat didn't leave a teleporter and Miles was just stuck there? But also she teleports inside this aircraft, beats the hunters up, and then causes a crash with them still in it. murdered them. She's a terrible person.
Why won't you help me stop this guy?
You're Spider-Man. You've saved the city before. You'll do it again.
Spider-Man was right about you. You only care about yourself.
Look, kid. Not that it's your business. My girlfriend's in Paris, and I got her into trouble with some bad people.
Okay. Why does that matter? You still killed people. You're going to jail. But get this, Miles is still gonna let her go. Why? Not only did she endanger you, but she also killed people. She's going to jail. Also, what reason does Miles have to believe that Black Cat has a girlfriend in Paris? In the previous game, it was literally shown that she was a manipulative liar. She is a liar. Miles has no reason to believe that she has a girlfriend. But let's say that she does have a girlfriend. Miles would want to help her save her girlfriend and then bring her to jail. Miles isn't just gonna let people get away with whatever bad thing they're doing under any circumstances. Remember in his own game, where Finn was doing a bad thing, but Miles said he's not just gonna look the other way?
What if I'd killed you?
You want me to feel bad because you almost killed me?
I want you to stop lying to me. I let you in the underground because I thought you understood.
I do understand. What Krieger did to Rick, Roxxon needs to pay. Not like this.
This is the only way I can beat him. I need you to look the other way. Please.
I can't. I made a promise.
And that's his best friend we're talking about here. Yet he's letting Black Cat go because it's not about fighting what we hate, it's about saving what we love. Also, they easily make a portal to the Eiffel Tower, even though she previously struggled to open it. But apparently all you have to do is just think of the place you want to go to. Also, why do you have to do the teleporting thing again in this game? It worked for Rift Apart because the Dimensionator is involved and makes sense for the story. It was impressive in that game. It's not gonna impress me again with Spider-Man. Also, is that seriously it for Black Cat? That's all we're getting? Nothing has been done with Black Cat for 2 games and now she's just gone? It doesn't expand on like anything? She's just there, just cuz. I mean, heck, did you know that her father is alive in this universe? Yeah, if you played the DLC and did that one mission with the cop, it's revealed that he was Felicia's father.
Sergeant Mackey, or do you prefer Walter Hardy?
Hey, don't judge me. I did what I had to do.
Your daughter thinks you're dead, you know.
And let's keep her thinking that. For her sake. Deal?
Deal? You just conned me. Why should I do anything for you?
'Cause you're a decent guy. Take care of my little girl.
I mean, that sounds kinda interesting. Does this game ever expand on it in any way? Like, what a waste of a character.
Show me Lee.
Oh, you just got back? Are you and Strange not interested in asking what this was all about? Or anything? Also, the fact that Wong tells Miles that they owe him one, yet Miles never attempts to go to the Sanctum and try getting their help. Show me where Lee is and that's it. Also, I'm not a comic book expert, but I was told Wong doesn't do magic in the comics. It's an MCU thing. I guess Insomniac didn't research on that. I mean, why couldn't it have been Strange? Eh, whatever.
Dude, head to Coney Island.
What? What's up?
You know how Mysterio just got out of prison? Well, he's opening a new attraction there.
He could be the hunter's next target. Good call.
So now we're at the Mysterium and Miles thinks it's a good idea to investigate it.
Now to customize your experience.
As you look at these images, I want you to think about your future, your hopes and your dreams. Ah, yes. I'm getting good data.
Wait, you're getting good data? Oh, Miles, you just endangered your secret identity. Actually, why did Miles go as himself to Mysterio anyways? Why couldn't he come as Spider-Man, walk up to Mysterio, and warn him about hunters going after supervillains? Even after a pointless minigame, he starts getting attacked by a bunch of demons that are being projected from his head. It's over for him.
Hey, Miles. Thank you.
Guys, this is my best friend Harry. He just got back from overseas, and he's starting up a new research foundation.
You mean we're starting up a new research foundation? Hey, good to meet you.
New job, huh? Still gonna have time for tutoring?
We'll figure it out.
No, you don't.
Actually, That thing back there really messed my head up. Can we dip?
Okay.
What? No? Hello? The whole reason you were there is to investigate if hunters are going after Mysterio. Why don't you change into Spider-Man and warn Beck about hunters going after supervillains? Yes, they aren't going after Mysterio in this game, which I think is kinda bizarre, cause like they're going after Black Cat, but not the Master Illusionist? I mean, wouldn't that be kinda interesting for Kraven? Going after someone that uses illusion tech? Heck, that's more of a challenge than Black Cat. Heck, Taskmaster could have been a great pick for Kraven. He's pretty similar to him as he tests out his enemies and hunts them down. Heck, the first game set up this whole thing about him being hired by a secret contractor, and I really wondered what this was all about. Yet you'd probably be surprised to learn that Taskmaster is not in the game at all. You cannot be serious. They set up this whole story with him in the first game, yet he doesn't show up at all in the second game. It especially sucks cause he's briefly shown in the opening of the game, when Kraven lists all of the villains. So now we're in Coney Island as Peter, and we get to play a bunch of attractions, which, you know, is kinda cool. And here we see Tombstone as a reformed man, and now he works as a mechanic or something. I'm sorry, but I don't buy that Tombstone has been reformed after like, what? A year? This is the same Tombstone that enjoys brutally killing people and has been helping with terrorism. Even his bio says that he smiles at Spider-Man after each defeat. This guy clearly enjoys being evil, so for him to be reformed so quickly is just very hard to believe.
Too much to hope you'll be taking it easier now that you're, you know, mortal?
Not a chance. Threat of death just ups the thrill. Hell of a left hook. Can't wait for the rematch.
Also, especially since he's a brutal murderer, man, you're telling me he got out of prison after like a year or so? I'm sorry, but this is some bull. He would not be let out of prison after a year or two, when he was such a disgusting evil man. I can understand Mysterio being reformed because he enjoys getting attention and he can do it in a different way. I can understand Martin Lee getting reformed because deep down, he still had a good heart, especially when he's the man who made Feast. So Peter smashes the hammer thing, and then Harry does the same and breaks it, showing how strong he is. By the way, this has been almost like 4 hours of the game, and the game's main story from what I played while only going through the main story is around 12 to 13 hours long. So we're nearly halfway through the main story and the symbiote is still not being introduced. All we got is Harry hitting this thing and that's it. You cannot be serious.
The bugle posted.
Did Jonah put you on the front page? Oh, you're gonna be an editor. I should have brought champagne.
Hunters and scorpions and explosions, oh my. Jonah posted the new guy story.
MJ, yeah.
It already has 5,000 views. I've got to write a different kind of story.
I'm sorry, but like, isn't that pretty much the same thing MJ was doing? I mean, she was trying to write a story on the hunters that are in New York.
I know you're busy with your college essay.
It's cool. I always have time to Spider-Man.
Sounds like you're as good at work-life balance as I am. I'm scrambling to finish my hunter story. Might save my job.
And that guy only wrote that Spider-Man couldn't save the day with the boat. But like, wouldn't MJ's story be more interesting because she actually expands on the hunters? Is that even a reason to consider firing MJ now? Like, I get Jonah hates Spider-Man, but he still cares about his company and the people in New York, doesn't he? Why would he just clean house? So the hunters arrive at Coney Island to get Tombstone, and Peter is all alone going to save him. Huh. All alone. Wait a second, where's Miles? Oh yeah, that's right, he left like a few minutes ago. Okay, but call him to get here right now. Especially since you said that might be going after Mysterio as well. You could use some extra help. Heck, I mean, MJ could have called him as well. But no, Peter decides to do it all alone, I guess. I thought this was greater together, not alone forever.
Good time!
Great, another nerf. Reminder that Peter can dodge arrows and bullets, but he gets captured by a net that is slower than arrows and bullets, especially when he dodged that one arrow like a second ago. You cannot be serious. Also, if it takes multiple nets to capture Tombstone, then why don't they shoot multiple nets at Spider-Man so he can't get out? Or at least would be harder for him. They only shoot one and he easily gets out of it. Also for Tombstone later on, it gets changed to just one net after gameplay, which Tombstone could easily get out of because he's super strong.
fall. Oh no. I'm sorry, Lonnie. I really do want to help you.
Oh no, if only there was another spider here that could have helped you out. So now the Ferris wheel is falling and Spider-Man is stopping those two trains from hitting each other. Oh. Oh my. I think that guy's dead. Why is Peter struggling to lift those two trains up? Reminder, this guy is strong enough to slow down a crane, lift up a bunch of railroads to redirect the train, was also implied to have slowed down a train with his webs before, did this whole helicopter thing. This is a really strong Spider-Man. Even so, why did you stick it on the surface and keep rapid fire your webs so it doesn't fall? Why do you have to lift it up? Go down there and get them out of there. Oh no, if only I had another Spider-Man here to help me out or something. Even so, Peter shouldn't be struggling here. And even if you want to say that he's struggling here, why don't you use those spider legs that you have installed to help you lift up the crane? So Harry comes in and uses his symbiote powers. Oh, so you don't struggle to lift up those train carts? I'm sorry, was his power level just acting inconsistent in the same scene?
Okay, we gotta talk.
We sure do, Spider-Man.
I know. But first, what are those things coming out of you?
I think it's my treatment. Dr. Connors said it's some kind of self-learning exosuit, but wait. You know what this means, right? We both have superpowers. Just think about all the stuff we could do to heal the world!
Oh, so Spider-Man does have a very fast reaction time that he can react to things before they happen when he's the least expecting it? That just makes all his previous F-ups look even worse.
Hey, I just saw what happened at Coney. What was that?
Wait, he just says he saw what happened? How? When? Where? Man, if only you were here to help Peter out or something. So the only reason he left was so that we can have Harry come in and save him, even though they could have done it in any other way that doesn't result in Peter needing help because he struggles doing something he shouldn't be struggling doing to begin with. You cannot be serious. So Harry is testing his powers at the lab and they both fall asleep.
What the hell happened here?
We were just, doing some experiments.
Where's Dr. Connors?
Maybe he took the day off?
No. He doesn't take days off.
Hey, Spiders. Got something for you. Head to this location.
Felicia?
Hey, Felicia.
Heard some chatter about the steel foundry in Williamsburg off a radio I swiped from those hunters. Sounds like tombstones there. He could use your help.
Thanks. Glad you're all right.
Did you make it to Paris in time?
Yeah, I did. Figured I owed you one. Both of you. Even if the other Spider-Man couldn't be bothered to make an appearance.
Yeah, about...
You can save the explanation. We've both moved on. He's a good one, by the way.
He really is. Well, thanks for the tip. Not sure I'd be able to find Tombstone in time without you.
Yeah, thanks.
So that's all Black Cat's character is good for, I guess. Just giving Spider-Man the info they need and she's gone. I mean, if anything, they could have had one of the Spider-Man get a radio to listen in on some calls. The guy MJ tasered, couldn't he have a radio? Even so, why would she be busy listening to the Hunter's radio when she has a girlfriend to save? Unless we would assume that she already saved her, I guess? I don't know, it just feels way too convenient to have Black Cat randomly call us when she's in Paris. So Peter went to this location and Harry comes in afterwards as Agent Venom, which, you know, I do like having Harry come with us during missions, but the thing is the game doesn't really give him much to do. He only appears in like 2 missions, which is this one and at the zoo. He never interacts with Miles, which, you know, could have had Miles involved in the symbiote story, but no, he doesn't get anything.
Is that a flamethrower?
I'll distract it. Get up there.
Huh, that's odd. Can you just pull out the turret and destroy a truck like you do during gameplay?
Unfortunately, I can't web that up. We'll need to find another way to shut it down.
Huh, you can't? Weird, but okay, I guess.
Watch out! No! I'm stuck!
Oh, F off.
Harry! You with me? My head!
So this is where the game establishes that loud noises can stun the symbiote. Now here is the thing, I get that loud noises is one of Venom's weaknesses, but in this game it seems like any loud noise can just easily stun Venom, which like makes Venom look weaker than he should because he's supposed to be this powerful threat. I mean, other Spider-Man media I've seen have either been a certain sound frequency that weakens Venom or like it simply irritates him, but no, here it's like it can easily stun you so that you can't do anything at all. Which by that point, how is Venom supposed to be any threat anywhere when all people have to do is just play loud noises? I mean, police sirens could be everywhere around the city and the symbiotes can't do anything. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. The point is loud noises shouldn't easily stun Venom. Also, Peter easily gets out anyways and saved both him and Harry. I mean, he also could have used the spider legs that the story keeps on forgetting that Peter has. So Harry recklessly fills up this place with lava, they both escape the building and it blows up.
Hey, good job back there. Really? I was pretty sure I was just messing everything up.
You were, but in the best possible way.
Peter, he just recklessly filled this place up with lava and blew up the building with all the hunters still inside. Even so, why don't you tell him not to be reckless the next time, since you all could have died if you didn't get out in time? Why does Peter keep on ignoring the issues occurring to all his partners and never confronts them? Are they too scared to make Peter come across as mean? Also, stop taking off your masks in public. So now we finally switch back to Miles and he goes to check in with his mom. The scene is nice. Miles talks about how stressed out he is and is focused on Lee, and Rio does give Miles a pretty good lesson. Other than that, this whole thing doesn't really serve the story at all. The mission here is that instruments are being stolen and Miles has to recover them. Why? What's the point? Couldn't we have had an Agent Venom mission with Miles or something? Cause like we do the mission, then we switch back to Peter to continue the main story. This whole thing is just filler. It doesn't serve the story in any way whatsoever.
Any sign of Connors? Nothing yet. It's MJ.
Bad news. Connors' house is crawling with hunters and the doctor's MIA.
Good news. I think I know where to find him.
MJ, are you serious? You went ahead and did your thing before calling Peter? When that's literally the issue you both had in the previous game? Why do you think the Central Station attack happened? It's because you didn't communicate with Peter, which was the thing they both resolved, that they need to rely upon each other and communicate. Why didn't you call Peter before you go and do something dangerous? You cannot be serious. And this is where we get our first MJ section. Congratulations everyone, they have returned because they were so fun in the last game. Now, a small rant, but I really hate these sections. I mean, I think they're worse than in the last game. So, story related, we got Mary Jane sneaking inside a camp filled with hunters first off. And gameplay wise, I think it's worse than the last game, because not only is it way too long for its own good, but also the AI is so bad and the maps are so wide that I have sometimes no clue what I'm supposed to do, cause enemies seem to see you from really far away at times, and I have no idea if that's part of the game design or if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, rant over. This is also where we learned that the other villains have died. Wow, isn't that amazing? So we find Connors and MJ also runs into Kraven.
Sorry we're late.
What? Hello? Where is Miles? You bring along the inexperienced Harry that blew up an entire building, but not bring Miles along? All three of you should be here. So you give Miles some random filler mission, but you don't have him be there for something more important? You cannot be serious. So let me get this straight. Spider-Man, who is supposed to be the super powerful dude that has been dodging bullets and fought the Sinister Six with 14 broken bones, gets stabbed and dies by a knife. A knife. And it's not like Kraven used his cleverness to outsmart Spider-Man or something. Spider-Man closes his distance on Kraven even though he's supposed to know that he's super strong, seeing as he one-shotted Scorpion. He grabs his fist and then gets stabbed. This is the most ridiculous way you could get Spider-Man killed. This is the same Spider-Man that has been stabbed and shot and punched multiple times and took down the Sinister Six with 14 broken bolts, and he dies by a knife. Do you not see the problem here? Need I remind you that Spider-Man fought guys twice his size? I guess all Rhino needed was a knife. Remember when Peter pushed Otto's blade in his shoulder just to destroy Otto's neural interface? Nah, screw those badass moments. He dies by a knife. I just can't. So now the game is like, oh no, Peter is dying and Harry beats up Kraven in the background. Like, come on man, you cannot be serious. And then it's all sad because Peter is dead. He dies by a knife. And then the suit goes onto Peter and he comes back to life. You know, this made me wonder something. Why didn't the symbiote go to Peter when he was asleep with Harry in their office? He wasn't even dead by that point. And the symbiote clearly wanted him. So now we get to play with the symbiote suit. And we get the symbiote suit halfway through the game. The pacing in this game is awful. So Harry reveals that without the suit, he will die because the suit is what cured his disease, and Peter can't get it off of him. Now here's an issue with the whole symbiote arc, which I wanted to get to later, but I think it's more appropriate to bring up now. The game wants to have its symbiote bond with its host, which is contradictory with the fact that the symbiote just wants to take over the world, and it doesn't matter if it has a body because the host will die anyways. It wants to be both ways, but it doesn't work, because if the suit is supposed to want to take over the world like it does later on, why doesn't it just immediately transform into Venom instead of latching onto Harry and Peter for such a long time?
We need to find Dr. Connors. Except
he's a drooling reptile right now.
Kraven! The serum! He had it around his neck. That's what he used on Dr. Connors.
If we find that serum, we could analyze it, use the equipment here to engineer a cure.
And bring Dr. Connors back from the land of the lizard.
I'll start tracking down Kraven.
He's probably already cleared out of that zoo by now.
Well, lucky for us. He left a piece of himself behind.
Seriously? Why does Kraven have a logo on his knife? I really hate this because that's the way they find him. Why would this experienced hunter guy have a logo on his knife that reveals his company? This is literally the Lex Luthor bullet from BVS.
Dude! MJ told me you almost died. You okay?
Oh hey, it's Miles. I almost forgot you existed because you never show up. So we track down Kraven and make our way to this restaurant. The suit turns into a tuxedo and we make our way in. We track down Kraven and we make our way to a church. Peter, come on. Not only did your spidey sense literally warn you from this attack, but also you have the black suit, which is supposed to make you a better Spider-Man, right?
You said it chose me, Doc. It makes me a better Spider-Man.
It reacted to a fast-moving attack previously, but now you can't do it? Ah yes, the spider webs don't work. You know, it's not like Peter's webs are now organic or anything, or better yet, why doesn't the tendrils protect him? The suit is supposed to make him more powerful, right?
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
Here to pick up a serum order for a Dr. Connors?
See what I mean? The symbiote is so sensitive to sound.
Let's see if you have the strength to finish what you started.
Where was the spider sense to warn him from that attack? And this one? And this attack? The spider sense is freaking useless.
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
Not just that, but the symbiote is supposed to make him more powerful. That's the point of the suit.
I see a man. I sense a beast.
Peter, why are you struggling with this man? You have the symbiote.
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
Why don't you set it free?
I'm just here to save my friend.
MJ, I got the serum. On my way back to Emily May.
How'd it go?
Really well.
Really well? You got your ass beaten like multiple times. Actually, you should have just left when you had the serum instead of just standing there and letting Kraven hit the bell. Especially when the bell sounds irritated you like seconds ago. So now we're at the Foundation and Peter and Harry are trying to create an antidote.
Pressure change popped an intersection out of alignment. There's no way to fix it without going inside. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing?
The suit will protect me, right?
Peter, I don't know about this.
Relax and be a good proton.
Huh?
Stay positive. Yo, you need to get out.
I can't leave. I'm the only one who
Watch
can...
out! Harry!
Peter literally had to get saved by Harry because of the suit being sensitive to sound. How is this piece of crap gonna help Peter become a better Spider-Man?
It makes me a better Spider-Man. I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Okay, before we get down to business, there's something I have to tell you. I'm fresh out of honey.
So Peter lets himself get hit by this attack? This suit is useless.
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
I'm sorry, why would you fly your airship in here? And why would you shoot a missile at Peter? I thought you needed him alive. Yes, Peter, change your suit in public. There were literally people right behind you. Oh hey, it's Miles. I almost forgot you existed again. You know, because you're just not involved in the main story. Also, where was Miles during all of this? Why didn't Peter call him? So we do some random mission where we chase down a drone and then Miles visits his father's gravestone. Now, this is where I should start talking about Miles' story arc. So, like, Miles' arc in this game is supposed to be like revenge is bad. But the thing is, the way the game does it, it just doesn't work. Throughout the game, they make it seem like he wants to hurt Lee or something, even with his friends commenting on it.
Hey, how's it going with Haley?
Had to bail. Lizard's loose. Could use your eyes in the skies.
The lizard?
Also, Haley thinks I'm crazy for trying to find Lee. Seems like everyone does.
We're protecting you. Revenge just...
Not after revenge. Dad always believed in second chances. But that's not what this is. It's my job to protect y'all, not the other way around.
I get it.
He even has like second thoughts about what he wants to do against him every time. But the whole revenge bad thing is flawed because in the first scene he confronts him, he already decided not to want to do it.
Not like this.
But then afterwards he questions the same thing and the game is still like, maybe I want to do it, but no, I shouldn't. But maybe I do. But no, wait, I shouldn't.
You're just gonna let me die. You don't know what you took from me.
We're protecting you. Revenge just...
Not after revenge. Dad always believed in second chances. But that's not what this is. Maybe I should just ignore everything else and spend all my time trying to find Lee. No. If people need help, I'm helping.
You'll never defeat me! Spider-Man doesn't kill.
You never fought this one.
Do it.
When you're out, find Spider-Man.
If the game doesn't do anything with developing Miles' revenge arc, then what's the point of it? It's like Miles became Kylo Ren and is inconsistent on if he wants to be good or not. The game also portrays it as if Miles is being Spider-Man too much, that he can't even focus on his college essay and doesn't hang out with his friends as much. But at the end of the game, he gets to be Spider-Man even more. The game doesn't really do anything with those things. It's not like his revenge thing is eating him up so much that he ghosts his friends so hard they don't want to hang out with him anymore or anything. And all they say is that they are a little worried about Miles, but that's about it. This whole conflict gets resolved in this fight with Lee, but like those things he's worried about didn't even happen in the game. He still has friends and families who fully support him, and that's it. I have no clue why the game just brushes all these things off and doesn't feel like exploring any of it. Can I talk about Miles' support group for a sec? They're also lame and don't really contribute to the story all that much. Genki is just there to be your tech guy and talk to you on the phone. We don't get anything to do with Genki. He doesn't get like any development or anything. He's just kinda there. You know, in the Miles game, he was like Miles' supporting friend who was helping him out when he felt a bit sad and motivated him to become a better Spider-Man. But here, he gets nothing to do really. Same thing with Hailey. Now, I don't hate Hailey. I liked her in Miles Morales. She's cool. She's nice. But like, that's about all they got going with her. She just goes along with whatever is going on and doesn't really get anything to do either. I mean, the game is telling me that her and Miles have like a thing going on, but it's not like further developed or anything. Rio is also just there and is nice to Miles and supportive and everything, which is all well and good. But the issue is she seems fine with Miles constantly risking his life out there, which is kinda strange considering she almost witnessed her son die in the previous game. I mean, she feels like he should be Spider-Man less or something, but Miles doesn't do it. But then nothing happens and they're still all supportive to Miles. Well, with this game the issue is kinda that everyone is being way too nice, if that makes sense. It's like they were too afraid to make the characters come across as mean, so everyone is just like really nice and bland. They don't really have much going for them. It's like they were too afraid to repeat what the first Ratchet & Clank game did, where Ratchet was criticized for being a huge a-hole and even threatened to murder Clank. But what's funny is it didn't even feel like the characters in the first Spider-Man game were this bland. They all had something going on. Everyone in this game is just bland and boring. And this is all Miles gets. We unlock a side mission, he goes to his father's gravestone, which contributes nothing, cause like it's not like he changed his mind or anything, and then we switch back to Peter? Like, is this a joke to you or something? Why do you not give Miles anything to do in this game? It's like the story is actively ignoring him, otherwise it wouldn't work.
Hey MJ.
Hey Miles, just spoke with Pete. He's heading over to Dr. Connor's house in Queens. Stay ready in case he needs backup.
Oh, really? Did Pete ask you to call me?
Well, no, but figured 2 Spider-Men are better than 1, right?
Sure. Okay, thanks, MJ. Sounds like he doesn't need me. Maybe I'll go see Hailey in the meantime.
Really, Miles? There's a giant lizard on the loose and you don't want to back up Peter? Especially since Peter almost died like twice? So Peter visits Connor's house and whatever. Then he finally calls Miles to help him out on a mission.
Lizard's across the river. I'm not gonna make it in time.
Wow, Peter, it's been so long. But finally you decided to call the only other Spider-Man.
Hey, how's it going with Hailey?
Had to bail. Lizard's loose. Could use your eyes in the skies.
The lizard?
Also, Hailey thinks I'm crazy for trying to find Lee.
Oh, does she now? She seems pretty chill about it. So we go to this warehouse and we track down the lizard. So finally they can be greater together again. So we get to this boat section and chase the lizard.
I got you. Time to go boom, boys.
No. Spider-Man has got defenses.
So Miles had to warn Peter about incoming attacks? Gee, if only I had a spider sense that could warn me from incoming attacks or something.
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
I gotta admit though, that whole lizard chase is pretty sick.
He got away from us.
It's good, Pete. I saved the tracker. Let's go, man, before he gets too far.
No, he's mine.
You sure? He's got big teeth.
So do I.
He's not normally like that, right?
No, he's never like that.
Miles, you clearly know that he's not being himself, and throughout this whole sequence, Miles doesn't go after him, which means he gets booted off the story again. You cannot be serious. Where's the greater together? Huh? Where is it?
No way. Oscorp has a lab in the sewers? Norman probably set this place up for Connors back in the day. Must be off the books.
Wait, so Oscorp had a lab in the sewers this whole time? If Norman had a secret lab this whole time, then why did he make a deal with Kingpin to make a secret facility for Devil's Breath's production? Do I even have to repeat myself?
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
So we chase the lizard, which is a pretty cool sequence, even if some moments are really stupid. And then we fight him and then stab him with the antidote. By the way, it tears through the city and Miles is just nowhere to be seen? Where is he? I guess the story just forgot he existed. So we save Connors and he brings us to the meteorite. The symbiote touches it and then it brings us to this flashback.
Whoa, back off! I'm going in for a closer look.
What? Seriously? You come across this unknown thing and you decide to take a closer look? You cannot be serious. What if this unknown thing carries like a deadly disease or something? Ah yes, Connors, go on and touch it. You know, it's not like it could potentially... Yeah, there you go.
Shoot it off!
Also, if the symbiote is so focused on grabbing this meteorite, why would you bring Spider-Man closer to it, instead of explaining to him further from the meteorite? Also, an even bigger question is, why did you keep the meteorite in New York and not set it off to some private island or something? This thing could be really dangerous, especially since the symbiote wants it so bad.
It's a fragment of a meteorite that landed outside the city years ago. It's where we found that.
I'm wearing an alien.
We call it a symbiote. It bonds at the subcellular level with its host. In our case, Harry Osborn. He gave it to you?
Not exactly. I was hurt,
and it chose you. Which means it's more dangerous than I could have imagined. We need to call Oscorp. We need to destroy it.
Destroy us? You said it chose me, Doc. It makes me a better Spider-Man.
It makes you a better Spider-Man? You still get hurt like so many times and the symbiote acts on its own against your wishes. And the fact that loud noises constantly stun you. How am I supposed to buy that Peter feels as if he needs the suit when it makes things worse for himself? Literally, the fact that the symbiote is so sensitive to loud noises hinders any chance of you doing anything.
MJ, I'm glad you called. How you doing?
Good. Storing some more boxes at the house. Just checked on Harry. But how are you? I saw the news about the lizard chase.
I'm great. Connors is cured. The suit's still going strong, and apparently it's called a symbiote. Oh, and it's an alien. Which is pretty nuts, right?
Wait, what? You don't sound concerned.
I'm a little concerned, but I also couldn't have stopped Connors without it.
Peter, the two of you tore through half the city. Like, did you see what you did to the museum? I'm honestly surprised nobody got killed.
Well, that's a pretty weird reaction for you to have, MJ. Cause like, casualties happen all the time when chasing down a supervillain. It's something to expect by now, and all Peter was trying to do is just stop the lizard from causing more casualties.
That's the story I was telling you about. I wanted to get your thoughts.
Looks amazing, MJ. Can't wait to read it.
Wait, you're still in the suit. I thought Connors was gonna help you get it off. What about Harry?
Sorry, can we do this tomorrow? Just so beat from Lizard Wrangler.
Great, another MJ section. Are you serious? You're telling me this trained hunter couldn't shoot MJ who was just standing right in front of him? This is some insane plot armor.
Miles,
Look up!
Oh hey, it's Miles. After being gone from the story for so long, he's finally involved in the symbiote plot. So where were you during all of this?
Spider-Man! It's me! Spider-Man! It's me! Spider-Man! Remember?
I'm almost there, Miles. How's Peter?
Angry and not listening to anything I say.
We might have to try something else then.
I'm open to suggestions.
Miles, I need you to seal me and Pete in the tunnel.
What?
If I can just talk to him alone, I know I can snap him out of this.
MJ, are you stupid? This is the dumbest plan you could come up with. Why would you seal yourself in a tunnel with this alien thing all alone that is currently rampaging around the city? If Peter is not listening to Miles, then you would assume that he likely can't hear you as well. Even if you want to go along with this plan, at least have Miles come with you in the tunnel so that in case something will happen, you have him to come in for the rescue. You cannot be serious. So Miles gets kidnapped by hunters and MJ tries to wake Peter up after he got knocked out.
MJ.
I'm sorry, but why would the symbiote attack MJ? The symbiote is feeding on Peter wanting to protect his loved ones. If the symbiote ended up killing MJ, then it wouldn't be able to convince Peter on anything anymore. Is the symbiote stupid? Also, you're telling me MJ is able to outrun Spider-Man? Especially with him having the symbiote? You cannot be serious. So Peter wakes up on a park bench and gets a message from Harry telling him he needs the suit back. So MJ thought it was a good idea to publish a story about how un-Spider-Man he is acting? Why would you do that? Not only do you know Peter is not acting himself, potentially making him angrier, but also you could have potentially endangered Peter's life. You know, your boyfriend? The law enforcement could start a manhunt on Peter.
Hey buddy, how you feeling?
I need that suit back.
Pete. What do you remember about last night?
Wait, so you don't even know if Peter remembers what happened last night? Then why would you publish the story? MJ is such an a-hole in this game. Heck, why don't you mention that Peter almost killed you? That would likely want him to get rid of the suit.
The suit is the only reason I'm still alive.
Yeah, it's pretty great, isn't it?
Why don't you pop some more pills and say what you're really feeling?
Hey, don't.
I'm busting my ass out there trying to save you, and this is what I get?
I said don't.
I saw your story.
I tried to tell you about that.
Yeah, but you didn't, did you?
I can't lose this job.
Your job is to write the truth.
I did.
No, you didn't. Peter isn't acting like himself because of the suit, which you left out from your article. Also, you used a picture of him in his normal suit, which isn't a good look for him. Also, if you don't like working for Jonah, then why don't you quit and look for another job? You literally prioritized your job over the well-being of your boyfriend that is currently wearing an alien? I need to lie about my superpowered boyfriend who is being controlled by an alien. It makes me a better reporter. So after Peter says the N-word, he visits Norman in his lab.
How was your visit with Harry?
Don't worry, Harry's gonna get better.
Thank you for being his friend. Watching you two grow up together. You're like a son to me. I am so proud of the man you've become.
Are you okay?
Go. Please.
Harry.
I said leave!
And that's his motivation as to why he's mad at Peter and becomes Venom, everyone. This is such a weak motive. Like, is this supposed to show that Harry is jealous or something? Norman is desperately trying to develop another cure, and all he said to Peter was that he's glad he's his friend. This is supposed to make Harry so angry? Also, Harry should know that Peter isn't acting like himself because MJ literally says it.
Pete. You're not yourself. That suit is changing you.
For him to act so irrational makes no sense. Also, MJ wouldn't just leave Harry like this simply because he told her to leave. She would be like, look Harry, I know you're mad at Peter, but he's not acting like himself. The suit is changing him and we need to figure out a way to get it off of him. MJ is Harry's friend as well, you know.
Peter, where is Miles? He didn't come home last night and he's not answering my calls. Hello? I'm at my office. Tell him to come see me. Now.
Why can't anyone take care of themselves? It's always up to me.
Gee, Peter, it doesn't really sound like you care about protecting your loved ones. Sure, I want to protect everyone, but screw Miles, I guess. Why can't you take care of yourself?
Thanks, dude. Miles. I've been calling you. For hours. Nothing. You know Miles has been hunting Lee.
I'll find him.
I'm calling the hospital.
I said I'd find him. I've got this under control.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better Spider-Man. Not school, not his friends, how to help you. Go help him.
So now we're back with Miles and he's captured by Kraven. He escapes and enters some arena. Oh hey, it's Lee. It's been like almost 9 hours into the game. So during the boss fight, Mr. Negative uses his powers on Miles and we enter this negative dimension or whatever it's called. Now here is the major issue. The game forgot what Mr. Negative's abilities were in the first game. In the first game, when he touches you, he makes you see weird hallucinations, yet in this game Lee has the ability to dig inside your head directly, which breaks the first game, because if that's a thing he could do, then why didn't he use that to go inside Norman's head and dig up all kinds of dirt on him? He used this power on Spider-Man as well. With that, he could have figured out what his identity is, which is the thing he attempts to do in this game. You cannot be serious. This section also doesn't really work as a payoff. Like I said previously, the game doesn't really do anything with Miles' relationships to the other characters. All they said is that they're a bit worried about him and that's about it. For him to have this fear of rejection is not only something that his own game has already solved, but also the characters just say a bunch of nothing to him. Like Peter comes in and is like, I try to make you a hero, you put people in danger. But throughout the story, Peter never confronted Miles about anything really. Sure, he almost let people in danger this once, but the second time we see them together, he's out there helping the people out. Same thing goes for the other characters. They talk a bunch of nothing that never really happened throughout the game. So if anything, it's the Kylo Ren scene where Kylo forgives himself by using his memory. It's especially bad because he was barely in the story. So Miles makes it out and with the remaining energy that he has saves Lee and he explodes. So now we're back with Peter and Genki found Lee's location.
I left the best parts of me here. I'm not looking for a fight. Kraven has the other Spider-Man trapped in an old mansion east of the city. He saved me. Told me to find you. If we hurry.
No. You've done enough.
You should be proud of him. He reminds me of you.
Peter gets to the mansion and beats everyone up because he's angry. And we finally get a boss fight with Kraven.
I'm assured that material is unbreakable, but I believe anything can be broken. You still hold back. Maybe you lack motivation.
I'm sorry, why didn't you just kill Miles? Like you say, he's still holding back, but wouldn't you killing Miles make him go crazy? This is especially bad because after the fight, the thing that messes up his plan is Miles himself, so he has no reason to keep him alive.
Sorry about that. It's just me.
So now all of a sudden Peter decides to fight Miles? Why? Reminder that his motivation is to protect his loved ones. Miles shouldn't be one of those people he wants to kill. It's not like Miles tried to attack him, so he has no reason to want to fight him. Heck, isn't the thing you were worried about a few minutes ago that Lee hurts Miles?
If he so much as laid a hand on Miles,
yet now you want to hurt him? Now, here is the problem I have with this fight and the way Peter gets rid of the suit. First of all, Miles is being the one that convinces Peter to give up the suit. Which, you know, I understand. You want us to have a boss fight against Peter. But the issue here is that Miles was barely involved in the black suit arc. And all Miles is saying to convince Peter to take the suit off is just a bunch of nothing. It's just sweet little things he tells him like, "You're better than this, Peter. You're stronger than this. Don't let it control you."
You're stronger than some suit, Pete. Don't listen to it. And what about MJ? You could have killed her. I know you're hurting, Pete, but you're better than this.
I know. But... No.
We've got to be stronger than that. This time, you have to save yourself.
I can't!
You will. I'm not losing you, Pete.
When that's barely anything at all to convince him of anything, because he feels like he needs the suit. Especially when his core motivation is that he wants to protect his loved ones. The symbiote also doesn't really do anything to counter Miles' points or anything. I mean, since later on in the game it's shown that you can infect people with symbiotes, which I will get to later, why doesn't the suit convince Peter that he can save Harry with that, huh? What then? You'd have no chance of winning here. But no, this apparently convinces Peter to get rid of the suit, which is like the weakest way you'd want Peter to get rid of the black suit. I'm sorry, where did you get this container? This quickly even? Whatever, who cares, this story sucks.
These last few days, Miles, I'm sorry. Thank you for everything.
It's what Spider-Man do.
Spider-Man didn't save me back there. Miles did.
What now?
I have to talk to Dr. Connors. He said he knows how to destroy it.
Wait, what about Harry? Doesn't he kind of need it?
His dad is working on another cure. One that doesn't involve aliens.
You know, if you need me, I'm just a call away. Well, once I let my mom know this, she still has a son.
Are you serious, Miles? Why don't you just call your mom on your way to Oscorp with Peter and let her know that you're fine but you still have work to do? Why does Miles always get thrown off the story constantly? Heck, especially after what just happened back there. You'd think he'd want to back Pete up? But no, I guess. We can't have two Spider-Men in a story about being greater together.
MJ, I got the suit off. I'm so sorry for...
Go on.
For treating you and everyone I care about like absolute crap. I'm heading to Oscorp to store the suit until Dr. Connors and I can figure out what to do.
Does Harry know?
No. But Norman's been working on an alternate cure that's showing real promise.
Wait, how would you know that the cure Norman is developing shows promise? Not only did Norman look tired when you walked in the lab, but the cure showed no sign of actually working. You never even took a closer look at it. Also, you'd really want to trust Norman with creating a cure when last time it didn't really go so well. So Peter makes it inside Oscorp and takes off his mask. Peter, are you stupid? This is Oscorp we're talking about. Not only could there potentially be guards around, but there would likely be security cameras. Yeah, see, Harry walks in. What if that person was someone else?
We finally got it off. My hero.
Harry, we've got to destroy it. It's too dangerous. I don't want you to lose yourself. Like I did.
Pete, please.
You don't understand. Connor said it was... I saved your life!
Are you kidding me? Peter was not able to dodge a dying man swinging his cane at him, when previously he was able to dodge the symbiote's attack when he was the least expecting it? You cannot be serious. So after Harry causes this small crack, apparently the symbiote can free itself now, causing this huge burst attack even though the symbiote doesn't have a host? If it could do that the whole time, then why did it need a small crack in the container for it to be able to break out of it? So now Harry gets the symbiote and transforms into Venom. Reminder, this is a 12 to 13 hour story from what I played, and Venom comes in 10 hours into the game. The pacing of this game is atrocious. So what reason does Harry have to transform himself into Venom exactly? Well, like it previously showed us, he's angry at Peter and feels rejected, even though he should know that Peter wasn't acting himself. The symbiote also feels rejected, and that's why he turns into Venom. It would have made more sense if Harry actually disliked Peter and his father or something. Like, what if he starts distancing himself from Norman because of the whole Devil's Breath situation, and Norman actually thought less of Harry? Norman actually really loves Harry in this universe, unlike other versions of Norman, and Peter is still Harry's friend and still wants to save his life. What if, like, I don't know, throughout the game they argued over something and they start distancing from each other? Cause like the whole reason he's mad at Peter is over something that Peter doesn't have any control over and doesn't act like himself. And you know, despite Venom's design and voice being fantastic, this is probably the worst Venom adaptation I have ever seen. A lot of people were already skeptical on the idea of Harry being Venom. Now, me personally, I didn't have an issue of Venom being a different host. If the game has an interesting idea with it, then I would give this game a chance. The problem with this is just that this is just not Venom. Not only is Harry's motivation for being Venom incredibly stupid, but they decide to make Venom this weird master planner who wants to take over the world guy, when Venom was mostly a thing that wants to bond with its host and ruin Peter's life for rejecting him. Not just that, but in the comics apparently Venom also became an anti-hero and wants to protect the innocent people, but does it in its own way and became like a rival to Peter. Now, if you want to make Venom a villain, then sure, there is no problem with that. But the thing is, Venom has become an Avengers level threat, which is kinda odd for a more street level hero like Spider-Man, and the game wants to pretend like the Avengers and Doctor Strange don't exist when they clearly do. Venom was hyped up for the entire marketing of the game, but Venom is barely in the game, is barely developed, and just becomes a big bad guy that Peter has to stop instead of it being its own complex character. And not just that, but Harry acts completely out of character when he's Venom, which I will get to soon. In short, Venom doesn't work in this game. Heck, if they really wanted a crazy evil symbiote, then why isn't Carnage the villain instead of Venom? I'm no Carnage expert, but I do know that Carnage is different from Venom, and I heard that the things he does in this game is more likely to come from Carnage and not Venom. Also, the reason Venom looked the way that he did in the comics was not just because Eddie Brock was already a big muscular guy, but also he wanted to look scary to intimidate Peter apparently. Harry has no reason to want to look like Venom, and all of Venom's abilities are all tendril based, when the appeal of Venom is that he adapts Spider-Man's abilities. Even when he like uses his tendrils to form a hammer, it's just too much. So now we get this really cool sequence where we get to play as Venom and demolish everything, which I thought was really fun. I mean, it's a shame it's the only section in the game where we get to do this, but yeah, it's still fun. We even get to fight Kraven as Venom, which is cool and all. After the fight, Venom bites his head off and is like, oh no, what have I done? And then he flees to his mom's gravestone. And the symbiote is using his mom's voice in order to convince him to heal the world by infecting everyone with the symbiote.
Mom, what did I just do?
Don't be scared, honey. You finally have the power to do what we've always wanted. We're going to heal the world.
How?
Let me show you.
I'm sorry, but how exactly is this supposed to convince Harry to want to help him? You just murdered an entire building filled with security guards and bit someone's head off. And now you want everyone else to be a bloodthirsty killer just like you? At first it made it seem like the symbiote does things in Harry's interest, sorta.
We were separated because of you. You destroyed our work, hurt our friends.
Come, let your vengeance feast upon my flesh!
but now it wants to gaslight Harry into wanting to take over the city? So the symbiote doesn't do what the host wants. So Peter is off to find Harry and for some reason doesn't call Miles to let him know that Harry became a huge monster and is out there attacking the city. I guess they forgot he exists. So he finds that one of the people have been infected with the symbiote, and I really hate the designs of the symbiotes in this game. They look really stupid with their spiral faces. But here is the thing, if the symbiote's plan was to turn other people into symbiotes as well, why did it never give Harry a symbiote as well? Throughout the game it looked like it was trying to actively reject Harry when this doesn't make any sense with what Venom is trying to achieve. I mean, if anything, why is Venom actively doing this world domination plan like right now? Miles and Peter are still around and the only people that can stop him. If we forget the Avengers and Doctor Strange. So why didn't he go back to Oscorp and corrupt him and then go find Miles and corrupt him as well? I mean, if we do take Doctor Strange and the Avengers into account, then they would go and stop Venom as well. So wouldn't it be in his interest to corrupt them as well? What about the villains? Why did he kill Kraven instead of corrupting him as well? Why are you only going after regular people?
We've got to stop him. Okay, I've got an idea. When you were under the influence, certain sounds made you weak.
That bell. But we can't just carry it around.
No, but I have this mixing app on my phone. I can recreate the bell sonic elements. Then we can use it against Harry and his army.
That's genius.
That's not a bad plan, but here is the issue. Peter and Miles never tell the authority about this. The police, the military, none of them are involved during the whole symbiote invasion, which is weird because they should be there helping out. They should be spreading this information everywhere. I mean, if they turned on police sirens, they couldn't do anything. I mean, if anything, the symbiotes should have lost. So now Genki and Rio are in trouble in the subway and Peter and Miles make their way over there.
Harry? That's Harry?
No, Venom, why are you leaving? Corrupt Peter and Miles and you win.
Wait, that time when we went mini golfing for my birthday and I got that hole-in-one to win, I cheated. I could pick up the ball and dropped it in when you weren't looking. And honestly, I never liked the sandwiches you traded for at lunch, but I went along with it because I knew how much you loved my mom's. Haven't heard from MJ in a while. I should give her a call. MJ.
I didn't get fired from the Bugle. In fact, I think I got a promotion.
Hey, that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Hey, listen. Something's gone wrong with Harry.
What happened?
Well,
Hang on, someone's at the door.
it's kind of hard to explain. Just promise me you'll stay away from him, okay?
Peter, why are you being vague with MJ? Tell her that Harry has transformed into a huge monster and is terrorizing the city. Heck, if anything, why didn't you relocate her sooner so that nothing happens to her?
Spider-Man, how are you feeling?
Anxious? Panicked?
I meant, physical symptoms. Soreness? Fatigue?
Yes. Wait, symptoms?
I've been looking through years of research notes. The symbiote channels a collective consciousness.
That hive mind I was in.
Is optimistic. It may still be inside you.
What?
Nothing to panic about, but perhaps you should come to the lab for some tests.
Can't, Doc. Bigger problems. Gotta go.
Wait a second. First off, if Peter still has the symbiote in him, then why didn't it do the same with Harry when he didn't have the suit anymore? And second off, the symbiote being a hive mind is a big problem. Remember that the symbiote still retains the memories of its host, so everyone who is infected by the symbiote would also know Spider-Man's identity. Peter and Miles are screwed. So Peter makes his way home and finds Harry sitting there with MJ. Harry is acting weirdly out of character here all of a sudden. Not only is he scaring his best friends and destroying their things, but he genuinely believes that what he's doing is a good thing when it's turning people into monsters.
I finally have the power to realize our vision. Are you giving up on me?
Harry, we need to get that thing off you.
Do not call us
a thing. We are not, Harry. We are.
Okay, here is another major problem. Harry has no reason calling himself Venom in this game. Like, his motivation is one to heal the world, and he genuinely believes that the symbiote is the way to go. But he calls himself Venom? Why exactly? The only reason it's here is so he can go, "We are Venom," which makes no sense at all. Peter, are you serious? Not only is MJ faster than you, which isn't a major problem necessarily, but Peter just stands there and takes the hit when earlier it was shown that Peter is fast enough to avoid the symbiote's attacks. So after Venom gives his 19 inches, he transforms MJ into Scream. Why does MJ get to be Scream and not a spiral face? I have no idea. No, Venom, don't leave. Turn Peter into a symbiote. So now we get a boss fight against Scream, and the stuff they talk about in it are really stupid. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be like MJ's deep feelings towards Peter. Yet throughout the entire fight, she comes across as a huge entitled a-hole.
Don't listen to those voices! They aren't telling the truth! I heard them too! I know how it feels!
Always about you! You can't keep a job! You can't pay the mortgage!
If you need time, I can cover the mortgage.
No, I can't let you do that.
You can't pay the mortgage!
I can cover the mortgage.
No, I can't let you do that.
You can't pay the mortgage!
No, I can't let you do that.
MJ, are you stupid? Peter has a job at the Emily May Foundation. Why are you being like so rude?
And for how long? There's only one job you care about. Spider-Man!
Are you seriously implying that Peter being Spider-Man is a problem? He's literally out there saving people's lives. The city wouldn't have been saved from the Devil's Breath situation if it wasn't for Spider-Man or fighting all of the Sinister Six. The heck is your problem?
I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Wait. Not yet.
Watson, where are you with my apple fritters? I'm starving, and
Jonah? Kiss my ass. I quit.
Is this seriously like MJ's arc in this game? The fact she couldn't quit her job that she didn't like to begin with? Is that seriously what we're going for here? You cannot be serious. You might make the argument that MJ never takes center stage and she's mad at Peter that he gets to do all the saving and blah blah blah. But come on guys, this is something they have already solved in the previous game. Why do we have to do the same thing again? So Peter makes it to City Hall where Miles is, and can I just say that the symbiotes are probably the worst enemies in this game? How's that for the Snow Beast award, Insomniac? So Peter gets overwhelmed by symbiotes and then Lee comes in out of nowhere to save us. The symbiote inside Peter is trying to take him over and Lee goes inside Peter's mind to fix him. I mean, this whole sequence is kinda cool. I do like the scene where he cried over May's death and Miles comforts him. So at the end of the segment, Lee gives his powers to Peter and then Peter's suit transforms into Anti-Venom. And this is where the big problem lies. Throughout the whole game, the black suit was a power fantasy for Peter, to the point where he was addicted to this power and Miles had to stop him and tell him that this kind of power is wrong. And Peter gets over this power fantasy, just so that Peter gets another suit, keeps all the power and gets rid of all the negative effects in it. They pretty much gave him like anti-drugs. So the whole point of him getting rid of the black suit is made redundant to the fact that he gets the same thing again, making the whole arc kinda pointless. Not only was this a lazy excuse to give him back the symbiote powers for gameplay, but the suit looks really ugly. After this, Lee's redemption arc is also complete. It makes sense why Lee would get a redemption, but his arc is so rushed that he was barely in the game. But I guess that's it for Lee.
Reforming your greatest enemy. Can't say I've ever done that. Maybe MJ was right. Why would the city need me when it has you?
Why did you have him say that? Why would you do this? It's as if they hate Peter Parker. I mean, I don't think they do, cause he was awesome in the first game, but it almost feels like it.
Please. Just give me back my son.
We are your son.
What's he gonna do with that thing?
I think we're about to find out. You need to know. Harry's gone. Host and symbiote are perfectly fused.
I'll find a way to save him.
You can't. But you can still stop the symbiote.
How?
By killing the host.
How do you know that? You never witnessed such a thing, yet you know that the symbiote can be destroyed by killing the host? So now the whole city has tendrils everywhere. Not only does the city only look like this before you play the 2 final missions, but none of the military is involved or anything. Heck, call Doctor Strange and ask him for help. Or does he just not care? Everything is just so empty, even when we play the last missions.
That suit's not an alien, is it?
It's time for a Miles Morales original, you know?
Oh my god, what is that? What is that, man? As if Peter's suit wasn't bad enough already, now Miles gets an ugly suit as well. It looks so bad, it's unbelievable. Remember when the marketing has the Spider-Man fight Venom in their normal suits? Yeah, you don't get this in the game. Also, it's time for a Miles Morales original? Wasn't your whole thing in your own game that you designed your own suit? Was that not a Miles Morales original? Apparently the suit was made because it was a collab for Adidas shoes or something. Couldn't you just have given Miles those shoes in his normal outfit if you wanted to? Why give us this ugly suit? So Miles goes after this thing over there, and when he touches it, he gets a vision of the meteorite and Haley being in danger. I completely forgot she existed. Peter goes to confront Venom, but Miles is like, no wait Peter, give me a few minutes, I gotta save Haley. Also, Peter calls Venom Venom only like 2 or 3 times throughout the whole game, which is just kinda sad.
Hey, everything all good with Haley?
Not yet! But you still owe me a few more minutes! Hang tight!
Okay, how was Haley able to defeat the other symbiotes? She can somehow affect symbiote eyes with a spray despite them not having eyes.
You're incredible. I like you so much, and I think you like me. Do you want to go out? On a date?
Miles, are you seriously asking Haley out now when there's an active alien invasion going on and you told Peter you'd be there? This isn't the time, man. So Peter confronts Venom and he shows him where the meteorite is. Why would you do that? You know Peter is trying to stop you.
We can give that gift to everyone. But we need you with us, Pete.
Why? I thought you both hated Pete for rejecting you. And now you want Peter to be by your side cause Venom needs a friend, I guess? Why don't you blast Venom with the new Sonic Burst? I guess the story forgot he had it, just like the spider legs. And why doesn't Venom corrupt Peter like he attempts to do later on? So now Pete... What the heck is going on there? So here we are. The final mission of the game.
Harry's still Harry. He thinks he's healing the world. The dream isn't complete without
his best friend beside him.
I can lead Harry away from the meteorite.
And I can handle all the symbiotes.
While I grab the space rock.
So you want MJ to grab the meteorite? Huh. Not Spider-Man, who is faster than MJ? Huh. So Peter distracts Venom and MJ goes inside the cave with this new gun Peter gave her. I hate this gun. This gun one-shots the symbiotes and takes them out easily. Meanwhile, as Spider-Man, we have to beat them up multiple times. They made Mary Jane way too overpowered, and this pretty much removes the fear factor of the symbiotes when MJ can just one-shot them. Even during gameplay where it takes like 3 shots, it's super silly seeing MJ taking on all these symbiotes, especially a big one. So MJ gets a meteorite and drives away on her bike. Now we fight Venom at their old high school and he transforms it into like this arena. Like it's so over the top.
This is where we became best friends, and now it's where we become brothers.
This is amazing. Now, this is another problem with Venom. He's so overpowered that he has like unlimited tendril usage. Like how does Peter win against him in a fist fight? And another issue is that Peter doesn't really use his own tendrils against him, even though he has the Anti-Venom suit. And we get even more stupid dialogue between Peter and Venom.
You want to join us?
Venom, Peter has no reason to want to join you. He has a better suit. Why would he want to join you?
We know what's best for you, for everyone. We gave you everything you ever wanted, and you threw us away. Then you replaced us with Miles.
So, I don't understand. You want Peter to be your brother, yet you feel like Peter has abandoned you? So, why does he want Peter? Can you make up your mind?
The meteorite. You took it from us.
You're surprised by the fact that he took the meteorite? You literally showed him where it is and Peter doesn't want to join you. You cannot be serious. Oh, Venom now has wings. Not only does it look really stupid, but doesn't it remove the appeal of Venom? Like, Venom is supposed to adapt Spider-Man's abilities, but now that you give him wings, what's the point of even swinging around the city anymore? Then we cut to Miles and MJ escaping all these symbiotes. I'm amazed she's able to escape all of them, cause like, why wouldn't they be everywhere around the city? Is that really gonna stop Venom? It's the same guy who used his tendrils to turn the school into a battlefield. So they fight Venom and he tries to get the meteorite and then we fight Venom and whatever. I don't care anymore. Can I just go to bed? I'm tired of this nonsense.
Pete, what's happening? Just hang on, buddy! Please, no. Leave him alone.
Wait, so the symbiote doesn't bond with its host? So it doesn't do what the host wants? If that's the case, then why didn't Venom just turn into Venom from the beginning if it doesn't care about what the host wants? Why did it take 2 years for it to bond with Harry? With Peter, he did it in like 2 or 3 days and then turned into Venom immediately once he was back with Harry? Can you make up your mind? Does it take time to bond with its host or not? I mean, it pretty much just gaslit Harry into healing the world.
I'm done. Either way, Pete. We still have time? No, we don't. It'll kill them, and then it'll kill you.
Wait, so the symbiote kills its host anyways? So would Venom then just control a dead corpse or something? What's the point of bonding with its host if it's just gonna kill them anyways? And even so, what exactly was Harry's treatment when the symbiote kills him anyways? My brain just hurts. So anyways, Harry dies and the meteorite gets destroyed and everyone is saved. And despite all of the symbiotes being gone, Peter's suit is the only one that doesn't disappear for some reason. How is Spider-Man 3 gonna account for the fact that Peter still has the symbiote? So Miles brings Harry back to life and gets transported to a hospital. Norman gets mad at him for some reason, even though he just saved his son from the monster.
What have you done? What have you done to him?
I'm sorry.
And I guess this is his motivation for wanting to become the Green Goblin in the next game, even though Peter was just trying to save his son. But whatever. So MJ has started a podcast or something, and Peter takes a break from being Spider-Man, and Miles gets to be Spider-Man even more, even though this goes against his arc from being too busy being Spider-Man. I mean, it's not exactly an issue of him being Spider-Man and taking the responsibility while Peter helps in another way, but it's like, it's just a weird disconnect with his whole arc throughout the game that he has been Spider-Man too much. Also, Miles, again, why are you taking your mask off in public? And then we get teased for Spider-Man 3, and I guess Norman will be the Green Goblin or something, I don't know. Then we get after credits where they tease Silk for the next game, I guess. So yeah, that was Spider-Man 2. Like, what do you want me to say? The game was obviously rushed and the story they created is a huge mess. Maybe if Insomniac had like 2 more years to cook, it could have been something else, I don't know. I mean, it sucks that this is how the game turned out, cause like, to be honest, I'm not really excited for Spider-Man 3 anymore. I mean, I think it'll be a good game, sure, but I don't know if I'd be invested in the story if the second game has already ignored so much from the previous game. I don't hate Insomniac games. They still make fun games, and I know they can take criticism, but who knows. Maybe 3 will be a slam dunk, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Go play Gravity Rush or something.